Hi, I'm Mark Rinker. I'm the men's cross country coach and assistant track coach here at Eastern Michigan University. Yeah, so I grew up in track and field. My dad is still a college cross country coach at James Madison University. So he's been a college coach my entire life. My mom actually is also a high school cross country and track and field coach in Virginia. My little brother is a graduate assistant at Eastern Kentucky, so in track and field. So our family is very much track and field cross country focused and has been my entire life. I grew up going to practice every day, helping my dad time his athletes, and it's just what I grew up in. It's what I've always loved to be around, college level athletes, college age athletes. There was never any pressure to be in running. I played all sports when I was growing up, but running is just what I'd always loved to do, and what I knew pretty quickly that I wanted to stay in running. And so everything I did, through college and then obviously moving into coaching was geared towards trying to be, a college coach. That's just where my passions have always been. That's what I wanted to do. I was a very mediocre athlete. I was part of state championship relay team in high school, and I was all state, one time my senior year. But the jump from high school to college it's a hard transition. And that's one of the reasons that I enjoy being a college coach, is helping athletes with that transition, and obviously, developing athletes over the course of 4 years to get to the next level and continue progressing is really what I love to do, and it's why I do this. So yeah, that transition was tough, even with my dad being my coach. It's probably harder with my dad being my coach. Because he definitely suffered no fools and wasn't willing to cut me any slack because I was his son. If anything, he was probably harder on me than anybody else. So, but it was a super rewarding experience. I loved every minute of it, and kind of sharing that connection with my dad, and my mom was my high school coach. So that transition, being able to experience that and share that with my parents, through the course of my running career was a lot of fun. And I got my start coaching a little bit differently than a lot of college coaches. I started with one of Nike's professional teams, the Oregon Track Club Elite in Eugene, Oregon. I started in January 2008, so I was there for the 2008 Olympic trials. And then I left Oregon at the end of the 2013 season and moved back east to get back into college coaching, because that's really where I always wanted to be. I think that, going to the OTC and working for Nike, and I had two really fantastic bosses. I started at OTC with Frank Gagliano, who's just an absolute legend in track and field. He's coached Olympians, world championship medalists, American record holders, really from the late 70s. And, he's semi-retired as of, last year. And he's almost 90 years old now, and is still someone that I talk to at least once a month, to check in with and just, shoot ideas off of. And then Mark Rowland, who replaced Gags at OTC, who I worked with for 5 years, was an Olympic bronze medalist in the steeplechase, and has obviously done a fantastic job coaching the OTC for the last probably decade now, 12 years. It's been a long time, but it was really an apprenticeship with them. And I think that, there's a couple different routes to getting into coaching. You have the GA route, the volunteer route. And really, I took a unique route, but working with world-class athletes and getting to see how the transition from being a college athlete to, trying to be a world-class athlete was really beneficial. It gave me a different perspective than a lot of people, a lot of young coaches get. But having that, mentors that took so much time and energy in helping me get better, helping me understand, why we did things, maybe differently than other places, or, at the college level. It just really gave me a unique perspective, and it was just a great learning experience. So having the chance to transition back into, to coaching and take all the lessons that I learned, and all the experiences that I've been able to gather, across 6 years working with, Olympic medalists, world championship medalists, and figure out how to bring that similar program back to the college level. It's something that I spent a lot of time, thinking about for several years, and then getting the chance to do that, moving back to Northeastern. And obviously there was a short stop working with, one of the probably premier bioanalytics companies in the world, and getting that perspective of high performance from a slightly different perspective. All those experiences really came together to allow me to, I think, do a better job coaching, the athletes, that I've coached, and obviously at Eastern Michigan.